Please help me, I need saving. Imagine a new Arkham campaign with some significant changes to the gameplay loop and a new progression system, even some different gadgets. With Bit releasing an editor for Arkham Asylum, I'm already working on a custom Gotham City map, but what about Arkham City and Origins? It looks like an Arkham Origins editor is likely. I'm actually hoping for a City editor, but Origins will also do. What I want to do is build a new campaign using an editor for Arkham City or Origins, whichever one gets an editor. Both games are very similar under the hood anyway. Arkham Origins is pretty much built on top of Arkham City. My goal isn't to make a brand new Arkham game. I want to create a new campaign option for players who own City or Origins. Right now I want to discuss ideas for this new campaign. I don't know how many of these ideas will even be doable, and I'm not making any promises here, but I think it will be fun to brainstorm ideas for now. If you have any of your own ideas or suggestions, including for a main villain in this campaign, then let me know in the comments. I'm not looking to do a long story-based campaign that lasts for 7 hours, or tries to be another story that really fits into the Arkham canon. I'm also not using any AI to take someone's voice, but let's get into it. The way I see it, players can open the Arkham City game like usual, but they'll see a separate option to start this new campaign. This campaign will start Batman off with base stats and a few of the basic gadgets, with none of his upgrades unlocked. Now imagine you start in this open world area, a section of Gotham, a place for Batman to roam around and find different enemies, only the enemies utterly destroy you. It's a terrifying world where you're out of your depth and you have to grow bit by bit. There are a bunch of enemies in this world, different thugs, lieutenants, lunatics, ninjas, titans, and even some new enemies. Maybe we can restore the Clayface Fat Jones that were originally planned for Arkham City. The model is still there. We can even repurpose lieutenants into bosses by changing their attack patterns and making them deal more damage. The reason for this campaign being difficult is because of the focus on the new progression system. See, I want to add bosses you can find throughout this open world, and each of these bosses can have unique drops. They can be a special upgrade for Batman, or they can drop materials which act as a resource for our second area, the Batcave. It's actually kind of funny how often I see comments saying please add Batcave. Well, I want a Batcave that's fun and meaningful, a Batcave that you have reason to revisit beyond the story asking you to. In the Batcave, you can customize your arsenal and suit properties. For example, let's take the Batarang. You can unlock different Batarang types depending on the materials you've acquired. The Electric Batarang. This Batarang applies an electric coating to increase the Batarang's stun time against enemies. It can even work against armored enemies. The Light Batarang. Shoots the Batarang much faster, great for close calls in predator sections. It makes less noise whether you hit an enemy or a surface, but it deals less stun damage. The Heavy Batarang. This one deals slightly more stun damage and allows enemies to hear the Batarang from a greater distance due to how loud the impact is. It's useful for strategizing in predator encounters. The throw animation is slowed down for this Batarang. The Ice Batarang. I don't know what this one can do, to be honest. I didn't think that far ahead. Maybe it applies the freeze cluster effect but doesn't knock down enemies. You can choose which Batarang type you take with you to your next mission, and I'd like to add even more Batarang types to the list. You get to be more like Batman and focus on altering your equipment for the objective that lies ahead. And it's not just the Batarang. I think the ability to modify every gadget, including the Batsuit, would be great. DaviDuck suggested an obstacle course for the Batcave that's inspired by Arkham Origins content. You start from the bottom and make your way up to the finish line. You can't use the grapple gun or glide. There's multiple routes available, and you have to try finish the course as quick as you can. Going back to Batman's arsenal, you can make your Batsuit more durable and stronger, making you deal more damage and be able to tank more hits but at the cost of your speed, including how fast Batman runs. You can also reduce the armor, making you more vulnerable but even faster at combat. Even the explosive gel can be reconfigured, whether you want to do one big explosive gel or multiple smaller gels. The grapnel gun can be upgraded to either increase the grappling range or to instead increase the speed of the grapnel boost. And maybe there'll be a special upgrade hidden in the game world that allows you to increase both the grappling range and speed, but I can neither confirm nor deny that. The materials you find won't be exclusive to bosses, they can also be found throughout the game world and earned during the main story. The idea of Bruce Wayne customizing his arsenal constantly to prepare for each mission sounds fitting to me. I know Batman's too rich to be stealing materials in Gotham City, but just making purchases with the family money on the Bat computer doesn't sound that exciting. In terms of coming up with new gadgets, there are some main rules to keep in mind. New gadgets usually have to be based around damage, stun, and fear values, and we can adjust the radius and timing of gadgets. I'm not saying it's impossible to go further than that, but the general approach is to think about the mentioned properties or repurposing what already exists in the game. DaviDuck also suggested a bat beacon gadget. You can throw it near a group of enemies to summon a bat swarm that increases the heart rate of enemies. I think even bringing back the Ultra Bat Claw should be very doable by repurposing the existing Bat Claw and making it target multiple enemies. Darkwater suggested a dart that injects fear into enemies, so they have a massive and scared reaction to the darts. If you have any gadget ideas in mind, let me know in the comments. I'd like the ability to manually plant explosive gel on enemies' backs and choosing when to trigger it. Let's move on to the skill tree. Well, the idea I have for the skill tree is way too ambitious for these Arkham games, to the point where I really don't think it will be doable, but I'll mention it anyway. This has been done in multiple games already, but I'll use Middle at Shadow of War as an example. Shadow of War's skill tree doesn't allow you to use all the upgrades at the same time. You have to manually pick which upgrades you're using, which allows you to customize your character's abilities to a great extent. It's a good way to vary each playthrough. Now imagine this, instead of only 4 available special combos, you can pick your preferred 4 out of maybe 7 special combos. For example, you have the usual special combo takedowns, but for the second special combo buttons you can choose between equipping the Bat Swarm or equipping the throw move from Arkham Asylum. For the third special combo buttons, you can pick between the multi-ground takedown or the Batarang volley move, which would just be the Shuriken volley move, but using the Batarangs instead. And for the last special combo buttons, you can pick between the Disarm and Destroy ability or the Super Combo ability from Arkham Knight, if that can be implemented, or maybe even a brand new special combo move. I would like some of these skill tree upgrades to be locked behind certain bosses or chests in the game world, and I don't mean just special combo upgrades. This applies for a lot of different skill tree upgrades. Imagine defeating a very difficult and armored Titan boss, and the reward you get for your efforts is a charged super stun move with a knockback effect. Like I said at the start of the video, I don't actually know if some of these ideas are doable, but a customizable skill tree would be amazing. Tying upgrade unlocks to bosses itself is definitely still doable. The campaign would mostly be designed around getting through a series of difficult bosses and encounters. Imagine something similar to Elden Ring, where some of the encounters are relevant to the main story and many encounters are optional, but can make you more powerful and will make the main story encounters more doable. One boss idea DaviDuck thought of is a helicopter boss fight, but one you can deal with is Batman. Believe it or not, the Protocol 10 helicopters can actually shoot and kill Batman. I didn't even know this was possible until I played the difficulty mod. But maybe we can take enemy helicopters further. Imagine a helicopter with weak points you have to aim at with your ret gun, and there's no targeting or lock-on system, so you have to aim manually at the weak points. Something like that could maybe work while having to dodge missiles. Another boss idea, turn Arkham City's Killer Croc into a real and deadly boss. One where you realize why Batman doesn't engage in close combat with Croc in Asylum. We could definitely give him a unique attack pattern that requires precise timing to dodge. We could even give him martial artist style counters where he basically counters your own attacks. For the story of this campaign, I don't imagine a long story. I don't even have a story in mind right now. But as far as voices go, we'll probably have to find people willing to voice act the different characters. I don't want to do a deep or overly long story with heavy dialogue. The most important thing to me is just having a hook in the beginning of the story so you're invested in finishing the campaign. I do have some experience in writing scripts since I happen to be into movies. The story could be as simple as insert big villain destroys you in the beginning of the game to the point of putting you in a state where you are broken and very weak and have taken someone close to you. Your goal is to work your way back up and save that someone by the end of the game. It could even be Joker taking Jason Todd, with Batman scrambling to find him by going after everyone in Gotham. There won't be any focus on big and pre-rendered cutscenes as that would take too much time. I'd want to keep that to a minimum. I don't know if this will be a story that tries to fit into the Arkham canon as some prequel, or if it's just a regular night in Gotham City. Who knows, maybe this can just be a different rendition of Batman if we already have different voice actors for all the characters. We're also not using any AI to grab anyone's voices from the Arkham games. I want a few smaller interior areas in this campaign. One area I have in mind is an interior shopping mall. with multiple points of interest and things to discover. I feel like there's a lot you can do in an area like this. Maybe there can be a puzzle based around locating the right shop and looking for a secret entrance to a boss. An interior shopping mall might be too ambitious due to the size of it, but it would be unique and it could be used to change up the level design. I know some will ask about letting you switch between different characters in a campaign, but that will probably be too much work. Any custom and new bosses in particular would have to account for different playable characters. So to summarize this custom campaign, the gameplay loop is you fight difficult enemies and explore, find new loot, and keep customizing Batman further in the Batcave, rinse and repeat. It may not be for everyone, but I do think a different take on the gameplay loop for a different campaign, instead of just doing the same gameplay with a new story, would be more fun. What other features would be good to implement, and what would be your ideal main villain? Let me know in the comments. This is an idea I'm interested in working on once the Arkham Knight Master Overhaul is finished. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for big Arkham mods.